Hello YouTube vintage stereo collectors. Here's an interesting one right here. It's a Nikko FAM-12 AM/FM stereo tuner. Kind of hard to nail down the date on this one. The electronics are mid-60s solid state. There's very little information on the internet about it, but I would say 65 or 66 just based on what they should look like from that era. This one, I bought it very cheap from eBay for $10 plus shipping, and the biggest thing about it was very dirty. It looked like it needed help, you know. But I also knew that these Nikkos of this era were very well built. They were overbuilt. This one's no disappointment. Just some of the cosmetic things, the nice all aluminum faceplate, real glass dial, machined aluminum knobs. That's a metal cap on there, not plastic. And typical of many of the time, every single bulb was burned out. Now that happens. I mean, people keep using them after they burn out. Now it takes a fuse lamp to the right here and a fuse lamp under the meter. It also is a miniature mini railroad type bulb, 12 volt for the stereo lamp. Now I put in a couple of LED fuse lamps which tend to be brighter, and it actually on many receivers it looks really good. On this one, just because I think it's the white numbers and everything, it gave it a washed out over bright look. It was, you know, and plus it's only one side of the dial for illumination. So I had some standard 6.8 volt fuse lamps, put those in there, and it looks nice. Very simple setup here. AM, FM, mono. Put in the stereo mode. I'll just put the audio on.
Your news and weather update. The minute.
You basically, every little rotation of the dial, you're on to a new station, and it's hooked up to a vintage set of rabbit ears just sitting off here to the left. That's one thing. When I first powered this up and got some audio off of it, I had just a short alligator clip, like 3 feet of wire on it, and I was hitting station after station after station after station. I was thinking, this has a great front end. Now that's the other thing about it. It's all transistor. No ICs. Each section has its own circuit board. So kind of go through it here. To run it, you actually have to have the case on because it has an AC interlock. But it actually has one little board that controls the meter and the pilot light. Another board is the multiplexer. Another board is the AM/IF, separate AM and FM/IF. I think that's one reason it works so well. The FM/IF is on one strip. Then there's an SCA trap on another little board. It's kind of set, it's like they built it out of little modules, and of course it's all hand soldered together. Extremely excellent build quality. Oh, and another little board was the power supply. And the last thing I did was change the filter capacitors, and I pulled that little power board out, and this resistor fell out from underneath it. And it was a 1/4 watt carbon resistor, but not of this vintage of about 20 years before. It was just trapped under the wiring from somebody else's shop. And the only thing, that issue it had really, now I did recap it, the right channel was about half the volume of the left channel. And that actually was just a coupling capacitor, 10 microfarad coupling capacitor. They were the Elna ones. A lot of them were dried out. Just desoldering the leads would fall right out of the capacitor. But I think it has a nice look. It's very compact. It's a bit on the heavy side. Very sensitive unit. Great sound. Nice low bass. And I'm just running it through Kenwood KA2000, which is a bassy little amp. Same vintage. The switches on the front, AFC muting and noise filter. That's the SCA noise trap. I don't hear it makes much difference. Now what's interesting about the muting threshold, it's set to kick in around 1 to 2 on the meter. I've yet to find a station that weak. Every station it pulls in is, between 6, 8, and 10. Even ones that are hard to receive on the digital tuner. But there is one exception. It actually gets more stations than the Denon TU460, which is a frequency synthesizer tuner. But it has a little bit of an issue if you have a weak station between two strong stations. It's very touchy lock onto it. But once you're onto it, it does not drift. Not even a chance. The other thing, it has really excellent AM reception and a really solid ferrite bar that swings out. You could use it as a handle, it's so solid. Anyway, that's just a little tutorial on this. Thanks for watching and listening.